Power BI is a tool available to anyone with a Microsoft 365 subscription that makes it easy to start gaining more value from your data and can scale from even the smallest business to the largest enterprises. It can work with an astonishing variety of data sources, but unless there's an inbuilt connector for your exact piece of software underlying database, it can be a daunting task to get started. Many of the small businesses I work with continue to mix legacy applications with more modern software. And while all of these systems create useful data, building capabilities to interact seamlessly with Power BI would be an awfully big lift. But I find it often possible to get these disparate data sources working with Power BI, often with very little process change, just by rethinking how I want to get to that data and leveraging Power BI's folder data source options. In this video, I'm going to focus in on that type of workflow and show you how you can easily create processes to get data into Power BI from almost any system without any complexity of software customization in the background. Before we start, if you're a real beginner with Power BI, you might want to check out this video first, which takes you through getting started with the product. If you're already familiar with the basic steps of Power BI in terms of sourcing data and getting that data onto a report, then you have everything you need to keep watching. So pretty much any software, whether it's a legacy application or something newer, gives you the capability of exporting data that's relevant to whatever business question you're trying to answer. This might be a CSV file, an Excel spreadsheet, or something else like a PDF. And in many businesses, you are routinely exporting such data for further analysis or archiving on a routine basis. So once you've got your folder full of CSV files or other exports, what's next? Let's take a look at what you can do with them in Power BI. So I've created some demo data here, and I have a folder of some CSV files that you might download weekly from something like a point of sale system. And then in this Power BI folder source folder, I have one CSV file. Let's take a look at that. So you can see the structure of the CSV file is that I have a transaction ID, a first name, last name, date, time, amount, and type of transaction. And then I've got about 100 records in each of these CSV files. So jumping into Power BI, I'm going to go to Get Data, and I'm going to go to More. And then as my data source, I'm going to select Folder and then just click Connect. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste the folder path from that folder I just showed you, but you can also browse and just find a folder on your system. And then it goes ahead and it finds that there's one CSV file in this folder, and I can go ahead and combine. I'm going to combine and transform data and click OK. So you can see we now have all of our data in Power Query. And I'm just going to make one transformation to this data source, as I don't want this source name column, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. You can see this is now the way that I want it to be. So let's close and apply, and I've got all my data in Power BI. So let's go ahead and just add a couple of visuals to this report. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab a card. And on this card, I'm just going to put my UIDs. And instead of first, I'm going to change this to count. So I have 113 UIDs or records in here. And I'm just going to add another card. And on here I'm going to throw my dates, and I'm going to change this to my latest date. You see the latest date is Saturday, January 7th. And I guess for the benefit of just seeing it on here, I'm going to add my earliest date as well. So now that I've got this all in here, what I can do is, without going back and adding another data source or going back into Power Query at all, I can just go ahead and jump back into my folder, and I'm just going to take a couple more of these. So let's get the right ones. So I want this one and this one, say, for January, and I'm going to throw them into my Power BI folder source. And I'm going to refresh, so it refreshes my data. And you can see immediately I now have 363 records in here, and I have a later date of Saturday, January 21st. So imagine, for example, your bookkeeper already downloads a report like this for your point of sale system every week. So long as the structure of that report remains the same and it's always saved in the same folder, that existing process can, and on an ongoing basis, continue to populate and expand that Power BI dataset. Obviously, it'd be great if Power BI could pull in the data from the point of sale system directly, but these sort of data export processes happen in businesses every day, and often that export serves its purpose and then just sort of dies. Here we are not focusing on adding more work, but gaining more value from existing work. Power BI is a great tool for helping you answer your business questions. And one question I know it would always say yes to is, should you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you get more information like this in the future? But we're in the age of the cloud, so this isn't restricted to your local files or file shares. You can use SharePoint sources too with Power BI. So here we are in SharePoint, and I'm just going to go ahead and go into my documents in the SharePoint site. And I'm going to take all the contents of my Power BI folders demo folder and drag it over into my SharePoint site. Now back in Power BI, I'm in a blank Power BI report, and I'm going to get data. And instead of coming down to folder, I'm going to go to SharePoint folder. Now what I want to put in here is the site URL. So the site URL is going to be everything before the shared documents. So you've got whatever your tenant is, .sharepoint.com/site/ the name of your site. So we'll paste that into here and say OK. And you can see that it now finds every file in that shared documents area. So what you can do is, if we go ahead and combine, I'm going to combine and transform. And let's just go ahead and say OK. So now in Power Query we have all of this data. But remember how every file that you had in your shared documents library was being pulled through into this query. So what I could do is I could just jump up here to source, and if I wanted to filter any of these at all, I could actually change filtering on some of these columns at this point. So say I wanted ones that were modified earlier, or I want ones with different names. So if I just look at these folder paths, you can see that actually some of the folder paths are different because we've got that folder in there. So say I just want the ones that are in the Power BI folder source folder. I can actually exclude this top level folder, say OK, and then it will reduce down the number that I'm looking at. You can see I've now only got the ones that are in that initial folder because we put 3 of them in there before. And if I jump back to the end of my applied steps, you can see I now have a smaller set of data in here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to close and apply, and I'm going to do much the same thing that I did previously. There you go, I've got the same data on this report as I had previously. So let's go ahead and save this. And now that I've got it saved, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to publish it to the Power BI service. I'm just going to put it in my workspace. Now in the Power BI service, I'm going to jump into my workspace. You can see I've got this demo report in there. Let's just go in and take a look at this. You can see all the information that I've got in there. So now I'm going to jump back into here and I'm going to look at my data set. And one of the things that I can do here is I can refresh my data set. So let's just jump across to my SharePoint. I'm going to take another couple of these and I'm going to move them into that folder. So let's dump them in there, move them here. So you can see I now have 5 of these in this folder. So jumping into my data set, I'm going to come up to the gear icon here. I'm going to go to settings and then I'm going to jump into data sets. And then what I'm going to do is come into this SharePoint list and I'm going to edit credentials. I'm going to change it from anonymous to OAuth 2. And I'm going to click sign in. Then I'm going to use my credentials to sign in. Now having done that, I'm going to jump back into my data set. I'm going to refresh my data set with refresh now. You can see my data set is updated. So when you get back into your report, you just need to hit the refresh button and then you will see the updated information. So now we have our report in the Power BI service in the cloud. And we can use automated processes to refresh our data on a daily or weekly basis depending on what we need. Let's take a look at how to do that. So the first way you can automate your refresh is in your dataset you can come up to this refresh button and you can schedule your refreshes. So if we just scroll down here to scheduled refresh, we can turn scheduled refresh on and we can do a daily, a weekly refresh. We can add different times that we want to do those refreshes, and then the dataset will refresh itself on that schedule. But you might be thinking, well, I'm not exactly sure when these files get updated or added to my source folder. So you could just do automated refreshes throughout the day, but you still might miss your updates by a little while. So in this situation, we can actually use Power Automate to start a refresh every time a file is added to our source. What we can do is create a flow. So we're going to create an automated cloud flow. I'm just going to skip this first screen, go straight into building my flow, and grab my SharePoint triggers, and I'm going to use the trigger when a file is created or modified. I have to put in my site address, or I can use this drop down to find my site. And I'm going to use my documents library. And if I want to, I can specify a folder. So if I want to take a look at that particular folder that I selected earlier, you can see that I can use that there. And now I'm going to add a new step. I'm going to search for Power BI. And I'm going to use the action refresh dataset. I'm going to select my workspace because that's where this is currently located, and the dataset is Power BI folders demo. I'm going to save. So I'm just going to jump back into SharePoint, go into my Power BI folder source folder, and then I'm just going to drag one of the files that I don't have in here into this folder. So now I can go back into Power Automate, wait a couple of seconds and refresh my flow. You can see my flow has run and succeeded. If I jump back into my Power BI report, I'm just going to refresh one more time, and you can see I now have more records in there. Now, this solution isn't going to be the best fit for every scenario, but I'm sure a lot of you watching are involved in processes where you do routinely export information from a variety of systems, and then later you wish that you could gain more value from that data. Particularly in smaller businesses, this is a great starting point where with very little friction you can start molding your existing processes into gaining extra value from your data with Power BI. So how might you approach this differently as you grow? Well, for those legacy systems we are thinking about, the best-in-class solution to integrate and automate that work is Power Automate Desktop, which allows you to have a PC or even a fleet of virtual machines, depending on your scale, simulating the human interaction needed to make that software work. Beyond that, focusing on deploying tools that have open and accessible data models to allow you to easily leverage business intelligence tools like Power BI is important. And you shouldn't think that just because you're deploying something new, it will be any more open than the legacy tool you're replacing. There are very many trendy tools, many aimed at smaller businesses, that are walled gardens to a far greater extent than many older software packages have ever been. As we think about the tool set we're going to use in our business, it's really important to think about the edges of our systems and the gaps between them, as that's where the integration and data sharing that you derive additional value from is going to happen. There are very few businesses that can truly rely upon one do-everything system to show them everything that they need to know to make better business decisions. Tools like Power BI will continue to be critical to telling you the story of your business. So Power BI can continue to be with you on that journey as you scale. And with features like the ability to get data out of a folder, you can really easily integrate with these existing processes that you've got in your business. I hope this video has added value to you and you'll be able to use what you've learned here to gain some additional value, to answer some additional questions with data that you've been exporting from some of your systems already. Until next time, bye bye.